What's going on, everybody? How y'all feel, man? You tuned into another great episode of the Male Translations Podcast, man. It's your boy, Clarence Brown, certified life coach, relationship coach, man. And so, man, I hope y'all had a great week, man. Glad to see y'all once again, man. It's another great Tuesday night. So I got something I want to talk about. Of course, man, as we end this year off, man, we want to end this year off right. So as you're coming in, man, I'd like you to leave your name, leave where you're coming in from. I want to give you your just due, man. Give you your props for, stopping through, man, and chopping it up with your boy for a quick while, for a little while. And so if you are on YouTube, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. We've got over 325 videos all dealing with relationships from a male perspective and giving you that comedy, insight, and honesty from a male perspective, man. So if this is your first time checking out the podcast, checking out my content, man, like I said, it's over 300 videos, man, and you can go back and watch those videos and check those out, right? But tonight, man, again, I want to talk about something that kind of has been tickling my brain a little bit because I've been speaking to a lot of men, a lot of women, and just kind of getting different perspective as I always do throughout the week, man. And so from Tuesday to Tuesday, a lot happens, a lot goes on when it comes to preparing for the show, preparing topics, questions, things to discuss, and also gaining perspectives from everybody that's out there so that I can bring that back here and we can have this conversation and chop it up. Give a quick shout out to Crystal. What's happening? How you doing from Gainesville? Okay, Gainesville, Georgia. It's a Gainesville in Florida too. I thought you was going to say Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Georgia. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Right? And so again, let me know where you guys coming in from, man. Let me know where you are. Let me know who you are if you can, man, so I can give you a just due, man. Because tonight, again, I wanted to talk about something that I've spoken to a lot of women about, and something that I heard that really kind of made me understand where a lot of women go wrong when it comes to finding a man, making things work with a man, right? And so when it comes to relationships, of course, as a man, I can only speak on behalf of men, but the problem I see is a lot of women don't understand what is inside a man's mind, why a man is making certain decisions, right? And how to better the relationship experiences for a lot of women. And of course, as a man, I can only give you the real about how men feel. Now, whether it be right or wrong, I just want y'all to just take this with a grain of salt and, just hear your boy out, man. Shout out to Jeff, man. What's happening, boy? The Sip in the house. I see you, brother. Yes, indeed. Always showing love. No doubt, no doubt. Tonight, I wanted to talk about something that like I said, what I want to chop up is, will Black women follow a leader? Right now, of course, for a lot of women, maybe Black women especially, topic like this is very click offable, right? Very, man, who cares about that, right? And part of that is it comes from the fact that a lot of women don't want to hear topics where submission or following a man's lead or leaning on a man, depending on a man in any way. This is not the time frame for it, right? It's 2021 going into 2022. We on the back end of 2021. These type of discussions, women, want to hear, but it's almost like you don't want to hear. It's like when you discipline somebody. It's like you telling them something that they know, they need to hear, and they know they need to hear, but it's just like, I'd rather not hear it right now because in my mind, I want to keep moving in the direction I want to move in. But the reason why I really want to discuss this tonight, because like I said, from Tuesday to Tuesday, a lot goes on. So when I'm having a conversation throughout this past week, I was speaking to a lady that she was like, hey, listen, how come, it seems like when I'm in relationships, I'm looking for more of a guy who's an alpha guy, but the guys I run into are guys that seem to, be leaning on me more, right? Be looking to benefit from what I can bring to the table more as opposed to the other way around. Right. But the problem is with those same relationships, she said that she was finding issues with guys that were more domineering and it was because they didn't see her to be as feminine. And she would say that even her daughter, would say, hey, mom, you need to be more feminine, right? But she's a leader in business. She's a leader in her workspace and, an authority figure or someone of power. So when it comes to now being in a relationship, it's hard to let that go, right? So I was like, okay, I understand that. But what I saw in her saying that is something I hear a lot from a lot of women, which is that a lot of women believe that a man is supposed to get on their program and find a way to figure it out and be ready to align with her. Okay. So it's almost like, hey, listen, well, because I'm doing things, I'm a leader in my own life, right? I find it, excuse me, they women find it to where they want a man to be ready, right? Be ready, but come ready to align with her in whatever direction that she's taking, right? So if she's, going on a path, now she's expecting, and a lot of women, y'all are expecting a man to figure out a way to align with you because you already are establishing something and moving in a certain direction, and you don't want to step away from that path or step away from that journey or the things you're building in order to align with a man. Well, the problem is that that's the way it's supposed to be, meaning that a man or a woman is supposed to align with a man, right? Because when we think about traditional systems of relationships, women want men to be the leaders. Women, ladies, y'all want a man to step up, take leadership, take ownership, accountability, responsibility, and own that, meaning stepping in that position proudly. But the problem is, while a lot of women want that, ladies, y'all have trouble with aligning with a man, so much so to where it conflicts with what you feel like value truly is. And so where a lot of women, ladies, y'all would say, hey, well, again, this line I hear all the time, like, be ready, like, come ready, come build, come, like, you know what I mean? I'm tired of building, like, if you're going to step into my life, like, be this, be that already, right? And I'm hearing this, and I hear a lot from what men say, where it's like, hey, well, what are you ladies bringing to the table? That's a very click-offable, arguable subject right there. And all that shows is that, a man is saying, hey, what are you doing to align with me? Right? It's not, don't bring me things that I don't value and tell me I should value them. But a lot of men are saying, hey, listen, the peace, the femininity, the cooperation, the just willingness to work with a man, where is that? Because that is something that we as men value, but women overlook those things to say, hey, well, I'm bringing this 401k that's got X amount in it, or hey, I'm bringing a woman who's bringing X amount into the home because I have this job. And a man is saying, well, that's not something I value. And I'm looking for signs of you showing me that, hey, you're willing to align with me as opposed to making me qualify for you. Okay. So, of course, the when we think about marriage, as I always say, 95% of the time, a woman is expecting a man to propose to her, right? Ladies, you're expecting your man, whomever that is, whomever he may be, if it's not presently, but in the future, you would want for him to propose to you. But what that means is that you're going to have to prove that you're worth proposing to that man. Right. And of course, maybe me being a man, maybe I'm too logical. Maybe I'm thinking so logically without feeling an emotion that I can come up with this conclusion to say, if I'm expecting someone to give me something, I have to prove I'm worth what I'm giving. And so when applying that to relationships, it's like a man is saying, okay, well, hey, true indeed, as a man, there's certain things I have to prove to show that, hey, I'm worth following. Right. I got to have a plan, have a mission, have a goal in mind, and have a clear plan that I'm trying to execute in terms of reaching that goal, so that you can understand what it is I'm after and align with me possibly. Right. But while that's happening, the same thing should be happening in reverse, and the same understanding of those expectations should be happening in reverse. So as I've proven that as a man, I'm trying to do all I can to make you satisfied, to provide for you, to keep you happy, but also to show that we're moving in a forward direction. I'm expecting for you to present me with certain qualities that make my life better, that benefit my life. And as a man, when we speak to other men, we're saying to ourselves, how is it that that piece alone gets mixed up and messed up and misunderstood, where it's like that it's not a misunderstanding when it comes to our job to do and fill certain roles. You see what I'm saying? So now when I'm speaking to women, throughout the week and just in general, family, friends, and you name it, I'm saying to myself, this, what I try to do is peel back the covers to say, okay, well, it's a layer under this, right? So just because a woman says, hey, sometimes I find it hard to let go of the steering wheel because I've been controlling everything myself. I've been doing everything myself. Ladies, I hear you. I'm sure a lot of y'all out there have said that to yourself, where you saying, hey, well, it's been so long since I've had somebody in my life to consider that it's hard for me to flip that switch on and then now just become this type of woman and exude these type of qualities of a relationship. This is why I say, hey, if you don't practice, how you be good at something, right? Like, it's a lot of women say, when I get this certain man, I'm gonna flip this switch on. It's just like sports. When they tell LeBron, hey man, listen, you need to exercise good habits because you're not gonna be able to just flip the switch on and be this star player. No, if you're not showing the signs and keeping consistency on your effort to improve and be that when the time comes, then when the time does come, you're not going, you know what I mean? It's not going to work. And so the same applies to women, where it's like, okay, well, women will say, hey, when a man does come into my life, once he's proven and shown that he has these certain qualities I'm looking for, that switch just going to automatically come on. And like all the greatness and the qualities of myself is just going to come out. He's just going to receive all of this, like no problem, no burden, nothing in between stopping that. Right. And so I'm saying, okay, well, that sounds good. But oftentimes what seems to be the case is when guys get with a lady, when ladies, when you have trouble showing that feminine side or showing that a man is needed, it's a problem because that comes in between you and the connection you're trying to have with that man. And sometimes it's not because you're a bad person, but yet these things don't bode well with you keeping a man in your life. And so when we talk about Black women, here's a couple of things that I hear often that bother me so much, man, and it get on my nerves. But it is what it is. I'm trying to do my best, do my part to bring a level of understanding and maybe change the narrative. But when it comes to our women, especially when I say our women, I mean our community, our culture, our background, our people, right? Okay. Other races may go through some of these things and have similar, circumstances and results. But when we zone in on our people, here's the thing: we, as a Black man, and I know men, y'all can attest to this, we're the only men that hear en masse our women say that, like, ladies, y'all don't need your man. Okay. Like, we Black women are the only women that speak en masse. And I don't mean every individual single woman of the billions on this earth. I'm saying the majority. So if we line 10 up, majority of 10 mean more than half would say, hey, well, I don't need a man, right? And here's something, and I want to know how y'all feel, but here's something I come to the conclusion on, right? A man doesn't lead where he's wanted, right? A man will lead where his presence is needed. Okay, right? I'm gonna say that again. A man doesn't lead where his presence is just wanted, right? A man leads where his presence is needed. Okay. The reason why I say that is because when I think about our people and our women saying so much that I don't need a man, it's almost like, how is it that you can make a man feel so unwanted and expect him still to stay? That doesn't make sense, right? And again, in mass, our women will tell us, hey, I don't need a man. Women declare that, hey, I don't need you, right? And especially when dating. And the problem is, when you are dating, it's statements like this. It's almost like irreversible damage. It's certain things that you can't say and think that you can come back from. As a man, psychologically, if I hear my woman saying, before I've ever committed my life to her and wanted to make her my wife, if I hear her tell me, I don't need you, oh, don't forget, I don't need you, right? Women will have a man do certain things for them. Ladies, y'all have a man do certain things for you and then turn around in an argument and say, you know what? Well, I didn't ask for that. So, like, you did that on your own. I didn't need that. Right? Now, after that argument and after things settle down, you expect that man to overlook that, let go of that, right? Forgive and forget. And that's impossible. And this is why when we talk about a woman following a man's lead, And when we talk about our women unable sometimes to follow a man's lead, and declare that you don't need a man, it's no wonder why, so many women who are in positions of power outside of relationships and business and life have trouble with making things work with a man, where in your mind, because you have the access and opportunity that our parents didn't have to excel in life where they couldn't, and put yourself in a position where they weren't ever. Now you're there, and now you tell a man that, hey, I don't need you. I can, like, here, think about this. The statements, I can do bad all by myself, that was a Black woman that came up with that. The statements of love don't pay the bills. My own mama used to say that. I can remember just off the top of my head riding, in the backseat, riding to church with my mama, and she'll say, love don't pay the bills, right? This is our people that come up with these statements and these quotes that seem to make it all right to be divided. And like I said last week with Pastor Doja, we was chopping it up. I say, man, listen, this is the Male Translations Podcast. Like I said, we break down the difference of what men say and women hear, give men a voice, give women insight on relationships, the men's voice when it comes to relationships. But the whole goal really is to reconnect our people, right? And so sometimes I might put out a topic that may be, triggering. I might put out a post that has a title that triggers, because it sparks this, hold up, man, what the hell is he, right? But I want that response because I need to bring you into the conversation. And these conversations need to be had because our people will click off of this and go through the same things in life that you continue to go through, and then complain about it as if you're not perpetuating the cycle yourself. And so, like I said, I know a topic like this could be very click offable, but at the same time, these are the same things women say they want to understand and figure out. And this is why, I always have these people coming up on me, like, almost kind of halfway getting free sessions, because it's like, well, hold on, I need to talk. Well, hold on, so I've been going through this. Let's talk about it. What you think, Clarence? And yeah, these are the conversations I'm hearing where it's like, man, if y'all come on now, we got to do better. Because like I said, as a Black man, I recognize in mass, our women are the only women that declare that they don't need a man. Okay. I don't see in other races and other minorities or majorities, I don't hear other women in mass saying, I don't need you. I don't need a man. And especially when dating. And this is demeaning and demoralizing to a man. And it's hard to get over when it comes to a woman just told me she don't need me. The things I do and to go above and beyond and go out of my way to show and prove that I'm a good guy, that I am keeping her in mind, that her satisfaction and happiness is on the top and forefront of my mind. And then when something happens or when I might drop the ball in one particular circumstance, you tell me you don't need me. You don't need what I did for you. Like, I don't need none of that. And then you expect me later to get over that and then propose to you and give my life to you. No, that's haunting me. That's haunting my mind and making me saying, man, you got me messed up, right? How do I know that you are grateful after the fact that you told me everything I did you don't appreciate, or that you didn't need that? As I said before, a man is going to lead not where his presence is just wanted. A man leads where his presence is needed, okay? A man doesn't want to just lead where his presence is wanted. He leads where his presence is needed, right? So again, for a lot of men, we're saying to ourselves, okay, well, there are men out here who like to take care of things, like to, hey, you know what? I took care of that. I took that weight off of her. I did this. I showed that, you know what I mean? I could step in and care for her in ways that maybe she didn't have men care for her before. Right? Men out there that saying, hey, listen, you know what? These are the things that I'm doing, but yet a woman will be quick to reassure a man that she don't need him. Right? Right. And so this is a problem because, of course, now when it comes to a man stepping up, you see that men within our community are saying, man, listen, you know what? I hear more Black women saying that their preference is Black women, but yet it's almost like we get no credit for that. with everything that's going on with women saying, black women saying, hey, men ain't buy nothing and men is trash. All they want is this. They need to step up. They need to be more loyal, stop lying, blah, 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 blah. And yet men still, and right now the temperature, women would say, hey, it's a lot of men that hate women, that talk down on women, that have nothing but negativity to speak about women, right? And yet, as a man, I'm hearing more black men nowadays still preferring black women over any other race of women. And still saying, you know what, that's my preference. You know what, listen, I ain't gave up on my sister. This is where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm locked in. And I'm saying to myself, it seems like that the men are more committed to making things work with black women than black women are looking to make things work with black men. And all black men are saying is, if you can hear us out, man, that would make it easier. If you would stop, disregarding what I'm saying, disregarding how I'm feeling, disregarding what I'm seeing, like, man, that would make it a lot easier. Because, of course, it's not about who has it harder. Listen, we both are doing things that are a sacrifice in order for things to work for each other, right? As a man, I'm married. I know I have to do things to sacrifice to make my wife happy. And I see plenty of times when she's doing things to make me happy, and it's a sacrifice for her at times. And so while that is the way it's supposed to be, it's almost like a lot of women saying, well, if you say something I don't like, I'm unwilling to compromise. I'm unwilling to budge. and men have been saying for years, okay, but damn it, if it ain't the same way around when we flip it in reverse. Why is it that when I'm a man, I have to deal and accept with being told how I need to step up, how I need to be this, how I'm not this, how I need to improve in this area? It's okay. But then now we get sensitive when I start to say, hey man, listen, you know what? I just saw some other stuff over here that just kind of bothered me. Like, listen, I'm not used to that. Can you work on that? And it's like, And then you try to say, and then ladies, y'all try to say black men are giving up on black women. But no, I don't hear that from black men. I'm hearing black men saying, hey, listen, sisters is what I prefer. But that's why I have a problem, why I have the topic, why I have to talk about. This is why the topic of discussion tonight is, will black women follow a leader? Because a lot of women say, hey, listen, you know what? That's what I'm looking for, right? And so when a man does come in and step into that role, like I said it before, a lot of men recognize that the man women want isn't the man other men really truly want to be. Okay. The guy that's the good guy and compromising and patient and just kind of like, always just kind of, okay, listen, look, all right, we're compromising, he's sacrificed. Like, yeah, those are qualities of a good man in a woman's eyes. But yet it's so hard for a man to do that, especially knowing when his peers look at him like he the sucker. You know what I'm saying? But yet that's what he has to deal with. And women saying, hey, this is what I want you to sign up for, and recognize I may not really give you all the credit that you truly deserve, because I'm going to just say, as a man, that's what you're supposed to do. So I'm saying, ladies, is a leader truly what you want? What is it that makes what is it that would make you follow a man's lead? What is it that will make you say, hey, under these circumstances, I'm willing to put my best foot forward in order to make it work, because I'm seeing him show willingness. I'm seeing him try. I'm seeing him put forth the effort that I don't often see. Because that same effort is where a lot of men get lost, because they feel like, man, should I really even be doing this? I'm not getting the real credit. Everything I'm doing is being overlooked. I'm being told every now and again that I'm not even needed here, and that what I'm doing is not even a difference at all. It's not even benefiting, because what I'm being told, hey, listen, if you didn't do that, boo boo, right? And so a lot of men nowadays are saying, you know what? Nah, if we can't have reciprocity, we don't even want it. We don't even want it. And this is where, again, the table is being divided. This is where you do have the battle of the sexes, but it's not outside our community. It's in our community. You know what I mean? I'm off my soapbox, but I hope y'all feel what I'm coming from, right? Because, of course, a lot of women would, oh, man, let me look. Okay, let's move on, right? And here's the thing. a lot of women that say, hey, they don't need a man are the very same women who have the most trouble with men, but yet want to project to be thought leaders and all of this when it comes to how I don't understand how women could have other women follow them that know that I really do deep down want companionship, true love, but yet will combat that same thought with, but if it don't work, I'm good. You can't have both in the same place. Either you want what you want or you don't. So if you do want a leader, if you do want a good man, then recognize that much is too much, too much is given, much is required. That's just the Bible tell you that. Right? You know, I don't know it from front to back. You know, I know I know a little bit, but not all of it. But I will say, even the Bible tell you, hey, too much is given, much is required. So for the ladies in our community who proclaim and declare that, hey, I don't need a man. Like, listen, I don't need you. That is one of the biggest lies, because again, what you don't recognize is that right now, where you seeing the violence and crime spike up, right? This is why I even tell my wife, hey, listen, past 9:30, you need to have your behind in the house, because you don't know what's going on out there. Right, my wife, she love to shop, grocery shop at that. Look, she'll tell you, hey, that's one of my hobbies. I like to grocery shop, get deal, whatever. Okay, cool, that's great. But yet, you know, I have to tell her, don't be in these streets late at night, especially if I'm not there. Because why? A single woman by herself is very vulnerable. I don't care how strong you are. You can be Rasputia, you can be one of these, you know, bodybuilding chicks, or someone like that who does have, you know, a large amount of strength. That's great, but that ain't every woman, and that ain't most women. Right? So any single man would see a single woman as a target. And so when it comes to the necessity of a man being in a woman's life, again, just that hedge of protection, that person that even if it be a phone call and that person ain't presently there, even if it be a phone call that you can make to say, hey, listen, I'm going through something, or somebody bothering me, something's happening, you know, come check on me, come get me, come see about me. That is value right there, if anything less. Right? There's some women that know, hey, they got women, y'all might have baby daddies that ain't about nothing, ain't paid $1 worth of child support. But if something happens, you can still call them and say, hey, somebody put their hands on me. I need you to come over here. Right? That's still value. But again, these are things that where a man can step in, and a lot of women are just saying, hey, listen, I'm good. And to me, I got a problem with that, right? So women proclaim that the time where a man is a head of household is done, right? And it's a new time. You know, a lot of women want dual leadership, right? Hey, you know what? Like, a woman shouldn't have to just, you know, follow a man's lead and, you know, do what he say and all of this. Like, why don't we both lead, right? But let me ask you this. Have you ever driven anywhere, ladies, with your partner, with him in the driver's seat holding the wheel with one hand and you in the passenger seat holding the other? You ever did that? How did it work out for you? Okay. Are you still here alive? Or are we speaking spiritually? We Ouija boarding it? What are we doing? Right? Because it doesn't work like that. At some point, someone is going to have to sacrifice control and be at peace with somebody taking you know, a position in driving the ship or driving the car, wherever y'all going, right? So if you don't drive your car, ladies, where you're in the driver's seat with one arm on the wheel and your man is in the passenger seat holding the other wheel, and you like, all right, left, okay, right, no, a little bit more, hold on, like that's nuts, right? I was told this when before me and my wife got married. He said, listen, when marriage is just like a couple riding a bicycle. I'm not a bicycle, a motorcycle, right? When they hit a curve, both passenger and driver have to lean in the same direction in order to take that turn without crashing and falling, right? If I'm on the front of the motorcycle holding, I'm turning around left on the corner, my wife is turning right, that weight creates an imbalance, we crash. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to relationships, it's the same way. Somebody's going to have to lead. And in order for us not to crash, I'm going to need you to follow my lead, at least for a little bit. Can you hold me down, bro? You see what I'm saying? And this is where a lot of men are saying, hey, ladies, can you hold me down? I know sometimes you may feel like, hey, your place may be to insert that little bit of extra insight for us to make a better decision. But yet, if I say, hey, listen, it may be on me if this goes south, but at least let me feel like I have your full support until things go awry. Can we do that? And so those are the type of things where, again, a man is searching and looking for a woman to align with him. I'm looking for you to lean with me when this road of life that we're on gives us some turns and tosses us left and right. I need for us to be on the same page and catching these turns together. I don't need for us to, oh, snap, I'm going this way, you going that way. Now we're trying to figure it out. We both fall in the crash. And no, listen, that's not what it's all about. But yet, when you think about, ladies, the dual leadership mindset of, hey, listen, well, like, if it was both our fault, all right, we both get credit if it go right. But if both our fault, like, that sounds good in theory, but yet ultimately, ladies, I know over time you're going to say, hey, listen, you the man, like, come on, like, I won't, like, why I always got to be on me, or it's partially my fault. Like, listen, if you're the man, like, I expect you to take ownership, leadership, accountability for whatever we doing, right? Because you're the head of the household. But if he is the head of household, taking the responsibility and taking the accountability and being in position to lead, whether it goes right or wrong, well, then you need to follow whether it goes right or wrong, right? But a lot of times, ladies, y'all are more supportive of your friend. Y'all be ready to jump into a fight in the club, throw water all in the chick face about your friend. But when it comes to your man, you like, man, listen, I don't really know, man. Now you have all of this perspective, all of this. It's like, nah, be about it for me like you would be about it for your girl. You know what I mean? You love hip hop and throw a drink all in it. You dancing all in the chick face, all kind of crazy stuff, right? Putting your job on the line, ready to go to jail. Forgot you got kids at home. All because you want to, that's my friend. That's my best friend. Right? I'm just saying, right? So be about that. Be just as about it for your man as you will be about it for your girl. You see what I'm saying? Man, listen, I'm just, man, that's just how I feel, right? But again, this quick to reassure, man, I don't need him. And again, not wanting to align with a man. I saw this on another platform the other night. I said, man, I was just gonna talk about this. I'm still talking about it. But just understand, ladies, that a lot of ladies don't want to, especially nowadays. We have access to knowledge where our parents didn't have access. We have access to information. We have access to just wealth building strategies that our parents had no access to. I mean, think about it. It got so bad. When we think as far back as slavery, listen, you get killed just to know stuff. You get killed just for looking and trying to find opportunity, trying to find knowledge, Now we in a time where at a click of a button, you can find out almost anything you want to know. You can find access to things that are nowhere in your circumference, right? You can look for a job in another state. You can, look up information overseas. You can do all of this. And so now the one group of people who's being targeted the most is us. And the one group of people who's most divided is us. And as a man, like I said, ladies, a lot of black women would say that it's black men who are giving up on black women. And every time I am in a group of men and we have conversations about relationships, because they know I had this podcast. So the first thing once they get me in the room, hey man, you talk about, so man, what you think about this, Clarence? What you think about that, right? And when we're talking about relationships, it seems like black men are fed up but haven't given up. Black men are saying, hey, listen, I'm fed up with being silenced, but I haven't given up on my black women. But it seems more and more like it's the opposite way around. And I'm going to end out on saying this. I said this the other day. Everything, when you think culturally, and then before I say this, just think about what I'm about to say right here, right? When it comes to anything being introduced to the world in mass, the first people who give it, the yay and nay, give it the thumbs up, thumbs down, is black women. Okay. We talk about it now. My mom used to tell me all the time, you see all these, she would say this, she like, you see all these women, all these other races want to be just like black women. They want the booty like women. They want the lips like women. They want the curves like black women. They want the nose. They want the head, like, right? So it's saying that to say that with any trend, with any fad, with any cultural shift, it always gets approved or disapproved by black women. Once black women have co-signed it and said, this is trendy, this is faddish, this is popular, then the world seems to take that and run with it because, hey, it's women, and black women especially have given their approval over this. I say that to say that when it comes to changes in relationships, it's no different. The same thing applies. Okay. The same thing applies to where when it comes to changes, you have women expecting men to change first, but yet it's black women that need to change to initiate whatever changes community-wide need to take place. Okay. Because when it comes to anything that starts to move the needle, once black women approve of the message, then that's when it gets disseminated to the masses and things shift, things change, right? Now, I'm not saying as a black man I have no power. What I am saying is I recognize that when it comes to any things that shift, this is why, you hear women with louder voices than men, that women support women quicker than other women, right? That's good. But when it's not positive and it's a negative stereotype or a negative narrative, then all of a sudden that brings down the value of whatever said thing is happening or whatever thing is being spoken about from black women. So now again, if black women would say, hey, listen, we're going to do that. I asked the question, I say, if men were more committed, would that make women's expectations and standards change? Or if women's expectations and standards change, that would make men more committed? Think about that. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? When we say, okay, well, if women to say, hey, man, we want you to be more loyal, more faithful, more honest, more committed, more driven, right? And I'm saying, okay, if women, y'all get all of those things from men, will that then change your standards and expectations of men to where now you're more willing to cooperate and submit under a man that you would want to be the head of your household and the leader of your family? Because if not, then it doesn't matter. Then you'll never get that commitment from men in mass, because the men that are looking for wives are seeing a limited resource pool of wives in the community, because the women are saying, hey, listen, I'm not budging until I see you do X, Y, and Z. And what's misunderstood is that, ladies, a man is looking for you to align with him. He's looking for you to make a stance that you're showing cooperation with him, right? Now, what needs to happen, ladies, is you need to assess a man better to know whom you can, whom you can cling to. Because what happens is, a lot of times, ladies, you will say, well, I did that before for this guy in my past and it didn't work. Okay, this is why I'm here. This is why, as a life coach and a relationship coach, this is where my purpose is fulfilled, where it comes to, okay, well, just because you did this with this guy doesn't mean that it doesn't work because it didn't work with him. Had you assessed that man better, then you wouldn't have given so much to where you feel that you're at a loss at this point, right? Because what men are saying is all the time is, it's not what you're doing, it's who you're doing it for. So if you assess a man better, if you ask more questions, if you give yourself more time without making steps so quickly, then yeah, you wouldn't find that you are at a loss at a later date, because what you would find out would let you know that had you given more, it would have been a waste. So when you give yourself so much to a man and it is a waste, men are not taking ownership of that, because we're saying, well, what did you do? What did you ask this? Did you wait? Did you move too quickly? Did you give him more than you should have at the time? And women say, well, I would have lost him, right? Well, if you lose him and what you've given him is at a loss, then you losing him without giving so much wouldn't be a loss. Does that make sense? So it's like, well, don't complain about what you did for the guy that wasn't the right guy. Find the right guy so that you can give what all you have to him and not feel like it's in vain. To me, that's what I'm able to elocute where other men aren't able to. That's where I'm able to articulate where other men have a problem or a little bit of issue coming up with that thought to place it in a sentence in a way where it's digestible. But again, what I'm trying to do is make it digestible so that you understand it ain't that the fact that you did something for the guy and now that don't work because I did it before, I'm not doing it again. Oh my God, he turned out to be this. Okay, great. Let's replay that for somebody who is more deserving and shows more gratitude for that type of offering and effort, right? Because like I said, it's men that are looking for women to align with them. And ladies, that's the problem, especially nowadays, when you have more women who are doing for themselves and can and have a lifestyle of, hey, and here's the thing, a lot of women, y'all are surviving. All right. We all surviving, but dang, bro, like two incomes make a better household, not only just for the financial aspect of it, but the union of a man and woman is better for our seeds and our children to see as an example, right? And so when it comes to just recognizing that, hey, we all are surviving, don't think just because you're surviving that's all there is to life. Because a lot of women will be proud in survival. I'm surviving, and think that, well, I'll survive, but that ain't really what you want. You want to have abundance, not just be in a state of drought and you're just surviving the drought. It's so many times that pride, it distances women more from men. And this is where in our community it's a pandemic. Shoot. Because our women in mass will proclaim and declare that you don't need your men. Black women say in mass, I don't need a man to be successful. I don't need a man to be like, right? And all it is further distancing more women who do really want to make it work from a man of quality, because men are saying, if this is how they feel about us, then why should I be what a woman in my community want me to be? Nah, I can be myself and seem to get more gratitude and appreciation outside of my community and forget what anybody else say, but that make me feel good. I like to be appreciated. I like to be valued. I like to, have someone show gratitude for me doing things that I know other men won't even do. And so this is why I said, ladies and Black women, I'm especially talking to y'all. This is why I say it starts with you. Everything that moved the needle and shifts the culture starts with Black women. This is why you see the Kardashians that had got the butt shots and the lip implants and all of this Botox and things like that. That was all in an effort to show an image of beauty that was a replication of what Black women had naturally. You see what I'm saying? And so when it comes to anything that people aspire to be like, they're saying, okay, well, what Black women saying about it? We'll run it by them first and see what they talking about. What they saying on it? Okay, they like it. I knew it. See, that's what. Yeah. All right, cool. Now that they approve of it, we good. And so, as a Black man, I'm hearing Black men saying, I still want a Black woman, but I would love for a Black woman to make it easier on us to take them back into our arms, because it's wounded and toxic and damaged, as women would say, hey, relationships can be. It's still men out there that saying, hey, I still want a woman that is in my community, that looks like me, that share the same pigment as me, the same complexion as me. So ladies, y'all can't tell me that Black men don't want Black women, because when we think about 1 out of 4 Black women being married, the majority of those marriages are with Black men proposing to those women. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, Black men are saying, hey, don't downgrade us so much so that where you're looking outside the community, because they're not marrying y'all in mass. We the ones marrying y'all in mass. So you can run off all you want, but you're making it harder on yourself when you don't recognize that it's us that want to marry y'all in mass. But yet y'all don't want to hear us out enough to at least make it work with us, because whatever we say is offensive, but yet the offense that we get given, we have to accept and deal with as men. And a lot of men are saying no more of that. We done with that. That those days are over. And until Black women recognize that what we're saying is not because we don't want you, it's because we do want you, but we want to make it work and make it beneficial for us as well. Don't be mad. But when you run off and recognize that black men are marrying black women in mass, then when you come back, see all along that it was rooted in love and not hate. And too many black women thinking that when a black man says anything about a black woman, that is rooted in hate. When in fact it's rooted in love, which is why a lot of men are saying, hey, listen, regardless of what's going on, black men still saying, man, I still want me a black queen. I still want me a black woman. I'm still most attracted to black women. Like that's what I'm on, right? So you can't tell me that it's anywhere other than that. So I just wanted to drop that real quick, and I'm gonna get on up out your way. But I had to get on my little, I was, man, it was coming out, it was flowing because I'm like, man, come on, ladies, like y'all act like a man's supposed to, oh my God, let me see, I work all my life to be with that right woman. And if I can just prove to her and I can just, if I qualify first, then if I meet her expectations, oh my God, like things and men like, what? Man, listen, this is like, come on, man, you can't do that. You can't put someone so far down and then expect for them to reach up and aspire to grab your hand when all you've been doing is putting your foot on their neck and telling them they ain't about nothing. And we still the ones that saying, hey, if I can get me a woman that's submissive, that's feminine, that's cooperative, that is willing to work with me and show that, hey, her heart is to satisfy me as much as mine is to satisfy her within my community, that's an ideal situation for me. Right. So that's why I wanted to put that out there, man. Align with your man, ladies. Recognize the value in, the way things should be, right? A man is looking, he who finds a wife find a good thing. But a man dating a woman is looking for a wife. And when he sees her in the dating process, in the relationship before proposals are ever brought forth, he's saying to himself, I'm making my assessment too. Because a wife is what I would like. A family is what I would want. But whom do I align myself? Who's going to align with me? Right? Who's going to cling to me and show like, okay, so that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get on out your way, man. I hope y'all got something out of this, man. Leave a comment. Let me know how y'all feel. Like I said, if it's your first time watching any of my videos, you can go back to any one of my 325 or 50. I don't even know at this point how many. I'm just making them, putting them out every day. I'm just locked in, posting every day, trying to drop something. Just dropped another video before I went live. Here, so y'all can check that out now on my channel and subscribe to the page, Male Translations Podcast, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified anytime we go live or anytime videos are posted. Because of course, these conversations are had for us to come together and not separate us. I say this often. It's too many things that separate us and not enough things that are reuniting us and reconnecting us. So yeah, don't just look at some of my titles and think, because again, you read the headline without seeing the fine print. Don't just look at the title and just disregard the conversation. I'm trying to shorten up the video so it's not too long on you, so you can get your information, get your entertainment, and get out and move on to whatever else. Because I always be clicking on different videos. I already know how the game go, right? Sometimes I click on a video and then I'm like, I like this. Let me see how long. Hold on. This is long, right? So I try to shorten the videos up for you. But again, don't just look at the title. Listen to the video. Listen to the content, because again, these conversations are needed to be had, especially within our community. And I'm gonna leave and just ask this question again, ladies: will Black women follow a leader? Will Black women follow a leader when you get that man and he becomes that leader in your household and he starts to see things that need to be moved around, adjusted, and improved upon? Don't take it personally, because of course that's what you wanted. Women say, hey, man, what are you bringing to the table? And I always bring this caveat. I say, well, what if what he's bringing to the table is tools to fix your table? What if he sees that, hey, listen, not only am I bringing something to the table, but I'm bringing tools that'll fix your table? Will you take offense to that? Or would you say, okay, well, shoot, I ain't too proud to get a couple screws tightened. I ain't too proud to, get a little work on this area if that's going to improve my table, right? And again, those are the things that men are looking for. So I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. It's your relationship coach, Clarence Brown, certified life coach, relationship coach. Make sure y'all go by the website, maletranslations.com, man, and check out some of the things we have there. Like I said, man, when it comes to assessing men, I put together a package for ladies with a checklist to be able to use when it comes to dating guys. So you can't put the onus on men not being who you expected them to be. You can take onus on how you assess a man. And if you have trouble doing that, then you can go to the website. The checklist is completely free. You can download that and use that as your ace in the hole, your big joker spade that you put in the back pocket for you whenever you need it, as well as my book, man, that for us men to be able to get ladies to understand what it is that make us shut down and stop communicating. You can grab my book, Come and Talk to Me, The Women's Guide to Why Men Don't Communicate. That's all on the website. Please go and check that out. And I'm out, man. We'll see y'all next Tuesday night, man. We're going to have another great topic, another great conversation. And all I need y'all to do is stay locked in, man. It costs you nothing to click. So if you can't support financially, then please just hit a like, share, or subscribe to the podcast. And I appreciate that, man. Y'all stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay safe out here. Until we meet again, I'll see y'all on the other side. All right? Be out.